Twinkle, twinkle, little star. He's alive!
Welcome to where the weird ones are.
Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out.
Powerful figures in Hollywood as well as powerful politicians who are in fact not human. They're reptiles or they're lizards or perhaps extraterrestrials.
I don't think it is a human. I think it's a Sasquatch.
Go ahead and run! Run home and cry to mama!
Let's get weird.
You record on YouTube?
Well, it goes on to YouTube. The video.
My face is going to be on YouTube.
Face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your face
There's
is
gonna be a-
beautiful, Kelly.
Thanks, I made
It's
sure.
gonna be a on YouTube though. It's only a preview because this is for Conspiracy Tuesdays are for Patreon, so the video is gonna be. I'm actually usually do audio only on Patreon, but one of my Patreons said that he goes to the YouTube because he likes the video form, so I'm gonna start putting video on Patreon, the whole video on Patreon. So,
Makes
but
sense.
YouTube gets like a little preview. So
Nice.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, I did put clothes on, so that's good.
well, we can only see your face, so that's
It's really up to you
No,
on if you
but
want to put
there
clothes
are
on.
clothes. There are clothes on. Usually, Katie and I, we don't wear clothes when we record, so that's why we don't go on.
Come and join Kevin's
YouTube.
Patreon, where Kelly may or may not be wearing clothes.
Definitely wearing clothes today.
All right,
love it.
what's up, you fucking weirdos? Welcome to another episode. This is Conspiracy Tuesday 13. I have two lovely ladies with me. I have Kelly from Curiosity Killed the K's, which was formerly known as a long-ass name that I can't remember how to say, so which is why they changed it. So, and I also have Alicia from Twisted and Uncorked. So, but I'll let them, tell you about themselves and about their shows. So, Kelly, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for having me today. This is going to be a lot of fun. My name's Kelly. I'm co-host of Curiosity Killed the K's. And like Kevin said, we did change our name because it was ridiculously long and we both had a hard time remembering it. So I will not say what it was. But our podcast, what we really like to do is kind of a little bit of everything. We have had some cryptids, some ghosts, some hauntings. My personal favorite is conspiracies, but nothing too in-depth about the conspiracies because, as our name alludes, Curiosity Killed the K's. It's a play off of Curiosity Killed the Cat. And in my research, a lot of people end up unalive when they get too curious about something, and so we just keep it pretty superficial and let you guys fill in the holes.
I love
Nice.
that. Also,
Me
kind of
too.
scared.
Yeah.
We had
Yeah,
one episode that I was researching, and I got a little paranoid. I went on like a run one day, and I was like, "Why is that black truck following me?" And it was just like it was just a
shit.
normal
I
street.
honestly
It was just passing
don't
me.
blame you for that. We did Illuminati research and we got like weird Instagram messages and all sorts of stuff. And I was like, I need to stop researching this. I'm scared.
Yes. Yeah. See, keep it superficial.
Yeah.
Keep it safe, guys.
Yeah, I personally don't mind deep diving. But I've also been kicked off of platforms for that purpose, for that reason, I should say. So
I was also going to say, you're also the man that fell asleep on the couch in the Conjuring house. So I would say you're pretty brave.
yeah.
Yeah. No
And I was
kidding.
also the first one to go out into the woods in the night once it got dark too. So, but
No way,
anywho, Alicia, if you don't mind telling us about yourself and your show.
Yeah, so I am the Canadian half of Twisted and Uncorked. We also do a little bit of a mixed bag of topics, and we usually do that over wine or sangria, hence the Twisted and Uncorked name. And yeah, Sierra and I have lots of fun over there, so feel free to come check us out.
Nice. And she was also fucking A,
Yes,
I
I was
can't
going to say it's
remember.
my second time on the show.
Yeah, she was episode 120 something.
124.
24. I was gonna say 25, but that's okay.
And I told Kevin all of the creepy ghost stuff that's happened in my life. Minus
yes, she
one
did.
other thing that is still ongoing, so maybe
Oh, boy.
TBD on that one.
Oh boy. So I had somebody leave a review on
gosh.
Apple saying that they heard possible EVPs on your episode. Like heavy
No.
breathing during
Like
during
while we
you and
were
I
talking.
talking, there was heavy breathing. And
Oh
I was
my
like, well, I
gosh.
could, because I remember there was times where you were breathing, you can hear your breathing pretty good.
I'm sorry, I
like
was
every
so sick.
little sound. Yeah, exactly. But he was like he knew that and that part, and he was like he's like, yeah, I know that, there was breathing. So it was over
That's
while she
scary.
was talking.
That's
So
I'm gonna
scary.
have to listen to that one again. I loved that one. That
Ew.
one was really entertaining, and now even
Ew.
more entertaining.
yeah, he's
I'm
like,
so
I think he
creeped
said
out
it was
by that.
towards the end. It was towards the end while you were talking. He could hear the heavy breathing over you.
Ew.
Oh man, it would be awesome if it was like a ghost sending everybody subliminal messages. Like, have a great day. You're
You listen
lovely.
to it
Yeah.
backwards or something, and it's like
Yeah.
a message.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Well,
crazy.
so like on the lines of, I guess, conspiracy, like I guess it's not conspiracy, but more of just like what is something, like what are ghosts? Like there's a story of this guy that was doing an investigation. He was talking to somebody, and the ghost asked him what year it was, and then he asked the ghost what year it was, and he said it was 2087 is the reply that the ghost gave him. And so he asked for the name of his grandfather. So he looked up the name of the grandfather, and he was right there on Facebook. So it was really freaking weird. And
I
so
remember you
when
saying that.
yeah,
You're
when we
talking
were
about that.
at the Conjuring house,
Yeah.
we got asked by a spirit what year it was, and I told him, or her, whichever, or it, and then asked what year it was for them, and then they never replied. It just like went silent. So that was pretty interesting there.
That is such an
No way.
interesting idea that I
Mm,
love. I would love
yeah.
to do some more research on that.
Yeah, me too. I think so. After the Conjuring House, I think so. Conjuring House would be my third investigation. Although we kind of just like went off a feeling a lot. We just like walked around and checked stuff out, and we didn't really do like actual investigation. We did do an Estes session between Scott and I did. And I tried to record as much as I could to possibly get EVPs, but for some reason my computer is pretty lame and it won't let me like look at any videos from my camera that is longer than frickin' 3 minutes, and I'm kind of pissed off about it. But so I think I'm gonna be a paranormal investigator from now on. I think I'm gonna go do shit now.
I love
I
that.
love
Like-
that. Can I come?
I
I have all my equipment. I'm
Absolutely.
ready.
I am
Absolutely.
such a
I only
scared
have
cat.
a camera and
Help
a
me
spirit
out.
box. I mean, I get scared pretty easily too, especially in my own house. When I hear knocking on my door and I go answer it and there's nobody there. And then like just earlier before we started recording, and I thought my door had opened and shut, but didn't. I don't think.
I think
so.
that's why spirits like don't come to me, is because they know how scared I am. Like I can make something up in my head and have a physical reaction to it, and it's like nothing's actually there. So they're like, we really shouldn't fuck with her because she is so responsive.
That's fucking
We might
hilarious.
give Kelly a heart attack and she might die. We can't do that
Yes!
to her. And
That's
speaking of possible
exactly-
EVPs, my husband is playing video games right now, so I'm going to mute myself when I'm not talking because I just banged on the wall because he's being super loud. So All of
Oh, I
Well, I
wonder
Kevin's
what
can't
you were
hear it. I will
doing.
tell you that.
not a ghost, just a really loud Kevin.
Another Kevin, right? That's your husband's
Yes.
name,
Yeah.
yeah?
That's how Kevin
Yeah.
started listening to our show. I was yelling at him on, like, I
That's
went,
right.
"Kevin!"
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Kevin's like,
yeah.
"What did I do? I'm
It
sorry."
was the. I'm just driving. I have my headphones on. I'm driving, and she's like, I'm like, fuck. What the hell was that?
Start doing that in my episodes, just yelling random people's names. Charlie!
Oh my God, from our group, too. It just has to be totally random. Like, Rachel!
My skeleton just fucking fell.
Ew. You'll know if they're listening then.
Yeah, exactly.
That was fucking
Like,
weird.
off
I heard
your
the
shelf?
noise, and I'm like, yeah, it just fell off my
Ew.
shelf. I just
No,
I
thank
hear it, and
you.
I'm like, what the hell is happening right now?
Tell it to behave,
Yeah, be good, Frank.
Frank.
There, he's right there.
Oh, nice. And he fell off of that shelf right there?
Yeah, he fell all the way down to here.
That's a pretty solid shelf to fall off of, bud. Frank.
Yeah,
You sit there and be
that's
good.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Fuck.
Nope.
I think
So,
shelf was
uh,
the shelf. I think Frank was pushed off the shelf.
Yeah, probably. Were you pushed? Sorry, man.
Someone
Sorry,
fucking
bro.
you up, Frank?
Somebody bullying you right now? Like, what the hell? You know, there's
We are a
there's groups
safe
for that.
community in this
We are.
podcast, okay?
But let
we
us
will
know.
not
We'll fuck 'em up,
tolerate
Frank.
bullying.
Yeah, yeah. Spiritual warriors and shit, like spirit guides and all that. Send them over your way. But anyways, everybody listening, please go check out Curiosity Killed the Case and Twisted and Uncorked. I would greatly appreciate it, as well as I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
And leave a rating and review. 5 stars, preferably. But anyway, so
I'm
we're going
down
to talk
with
about
1 stars
cryptids
too.
today.
By the way,
count 1
totally
stars,
okay
too?
with 1 stars. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if people are talking shit, that you're getting noticed. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I got
That's what
somebody
Sierra
just
said, too.
yeah.
We got our first
I
bad
got-
review, and she was like, that means we've made it.
Yeah,
Yep,
absolutely.
I got one a couple months ago, for episode 90 something, and they decided, instead of writing the review on whatever podcatcher they were listening on, they went to my website to tell me. So, which I
Did you
mean, I
write back?
direct people to it anyway. No, I didn't write
Yeah.
back. I just didn't
Okay.
acknowledge it at all.
Yeah.
But it was because she was talking about inverted celebrities, like how weird Hollywood is and shit like that. And then I think it's a he, by the name that they left for for contact, and they didn't leave an email for me to
Of
reply
course.
to them.
Of course.
So so they basically said that my guest was uneducated, doesn't have formal education or anything like that, and you don't have to have you don't have to go to fucking college to know shit, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I mean, it is what the only part that I don't like about the reviews is when they talk shit about my guests. Like, talk shit about me, that's fine. But
Yeah.
talking shit about my guests, I have a problem with. But I ended up not saying anything to them, and I sent her the a screenshot of the review so that she knew, and she was like, yeah, that happens. She's like, I'm not worried about it. And I was like, good,
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about anything controversial, you're going to get something like that. And you know what
Yeah,
I
for
always
sure.
say? They hate us because they ain't us.
I
hate
love
us in
that.
the
That's
anus.
cute.
They hate
Yep,
us
'cause
exactly.
they ate us.
No,
But
they
yes,
ain't
that
us.
too. Also, I kind of appreciate that they went to your website for that, even though it's a dick move to say something bad about your guests. But you
Yeah.
have a perfect 5-star rating right now, so I don't want that to be fucked up for you. Congrats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For now, I have 17 reviews, all 5 stars, so we'll
Nice
see.
job.
Although I have like 1,000 listeners on all platforms, you would think that I would have a little bit more, even because I asked for. I'm like, hey, can you throw a rating? Like, So
Yeah.
We talk
Yep.
about that all the time. Guys, go leave reviews, okay? It takes 30 seconds and it helps so much. And I'm like, I will send you stickers. We'll shout you out. We love you so much. Thank you. And it's like, nothing. And it's like, I know you're listening.
Crickets.
I see the downloads. I see them there. Come on.
yeah, yeah. I don't pay attention to my numbers like a lot of people do either. So like I don't know. I told Alicia when she was on, like I don't care about like how many people are there. I like doing this, so that's what I do. And since I have, people in the Patreon, like that's who I care about are the Patreon members now.
Yeah.
And if people don't want to be on Patreon, that's totally fine too. Like I don't care about that. And it's not like I am desperate or like I need people to be on the Patreon or like my life depends on it or anything like that. So like I started the podcast because I wanted to have conversations, and it makes it a lot easier to talk about this stuff with people when you're like, "Hey man, I have a podcast. You want to talk about it?" And they're like, "Oh, you have a podcast? Yeah, sure. I'll talk to you about it."
Yeah, you ask them, hey, you want to talk about this? They're like, no. Or like, I got a podcast. All right.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
I'm in.
I was actually at a convention talking to somebody, and I was like, "You ever experienced?" And they're like, "I don't know. I don't know what to think about that stuff." I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Why?" I was like, "Well, I have a podcast. I just love talking to people about this." Oh, well, this one time I was like, "Oh, okay."
It's like you
That's-
put a camera in
that's
front
funny,
of somebody
yeah.
when they start to do
Yeah.
weird shit. I mean,
Yeah.
reality
Oh,
TV is the
yeah.
epitome of that.
Oh,
True.
for sure.
True
For
story.
sure. For
Well,
sure.
thank you to Kevin's patrons for being here, and I hope
Yeah,
you like
thank
our
you, guys.
stories.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I hope so too. I hope so too. So, I guess we'll start with Alicia with what she has, and we'll talk about that.
Okay. So hopefully you guys haven't, well, I'm assuming you guys have heard about this based on the fact that you said you just watched Dune, Kelly, but for this conspiracy roundtable, I'm talking about the Mongolian death worm. Quote, it's shaped like a sausage, about 2 feet long, has no head or legs, and it's poisonous that merely to the touch, it means instant death. It lives in the most desolate parts of the Gobi Desert. End quote. Now, if that doesn't horrify you, I don't know what will.
Definitely
Yeah.
scares me.
The
Please keep that
Mongolian
thing
death
as
worm.
far away from me as possible.
Luckily
Yes.
I cannot
for
handle it.
us, there's not really a lot of proof that it does actually exist. It's just in like writings for generations, which is super spooky. So maybe it did exist at one point and is now extinct. Maybe it's just really good at hiding. We can discuss though. The Mongolian deathworm is an oversized worm said to exist in the Gobi Desert. While little evidence has been found to support the existence of this creature, it is highly pursued by cryptozoologists and academics around the world. Which, by the way, if I wasn't a podcaster, I think I want to be a cryptozoologist. That's an awesome job.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is really cool. You could be
I
Dr.
can't
Watson.
imagine it pays very well. Yeah, exactly.
You have to write books. You have to write
Yes.
books in order to get anything as a
Exactly.
cryptozoologist.
The worm travels underground and then just pops out for a surprise attack. It can even kill at a distance by spraying venom at the victim or an electric discharge. And did I mention it's
Like a
about 6
taser?
feet long? Yike.
6
What
feet.
did you say?
Like a taser. It just tases.
Yeah. Well, I was like, what does that even mean? I had to Google it, and then I was like, oh no. Yeah, it like makes the ground around you vibrate. Just as like a little bit of a humor here, when I was writing these notes, I asked my coworker, I was like, what is electric discharge? And her face just went, the fuck did you just ask me? Like, excuse me? She's
And
like,
then you
can you
looked it up
use
and
it
it
in a
vibrates?
sentence? Yeah.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Because it could mean a few different things.
Oh shit.
But it was pretty funny. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, we were both cry laughing at the end of that conversation. Because we're 5. But Stay away
Same.
from the electric discharge. The creature first appeared in writings in 1926 in a book called On the Trail on the Ancient Man by Roy Chapman Andrews, with his accounts of the Gobi Desert expeditions. The quote that I started with at the beginning is actually from this book. Quote, "None of the men present had ever seen the creature before, but they all firmly believed in its existence and described it minutely. He agreed to keep an eye out and use metal tongs and protective goggles when approaching it." And then sidebar, I wrote, "Sir, I don't think that that's going to help you against something that's basically the same size as you, if not bigger, that can spray venom at you and kill you instantly, but okay."
Yeah, with an electric discharge too, nonetheless.
Yes.
I mean, you're fucked,
Yes, any
man.
kind of discharge.
Yep. By 1932, Andrews had encountered many secondhand stories by locals about the Mongolian deathworm, but no personal sightings himself, much less a specimen to produce for all of his hard work and investigations. In July of 1990, 4 men set out on a mission to find this mysterious deathworm. Initially, they planned to set bait traps for food, but they weren't really sure what type of diet it had, except for possibly attacking humans, so they went with a different plan. They jerry-rigged a little machine to thump around on the ground, almost like a person or an animal, that would draw the creature out of the ground and hopefully attack. They had no such luck. In 1992, the ringleader of this group, Ivan Mackerel, went out on another expedition and returned to the desert with a series of small explosives that he thought would scare the creature and draw it out of the ground. But again, that didn't work. He returned in 2004 with a small aircraft, who just has a small aircraft hanging around, to scope the deserts in case of any sightings of mysterious movement or evidence in the dunes about the whereabouts, but they weren't able to catch anything. I really respect his drive, though, I will say. The Gobi Desert is a thing of mystery in itself in that it is so vast and much of it has never actually been explored. Multiple countries have conducted searches for the elusive Mongolian deathworm, with all efforts coming up short. People question at this point whether it does really exist, or if it was maybe mistaken for another animal, which Kelly will get into. But some locals believe that the notion of the deathworm may come from a real-life threat, the Tartar sand boa. But that's what makes it the perfect cryptid, legend, and conspiracy. Because does it really exist? Did it exist at one point in time? Or is it just really good at hiding? Fun fact, the Mongolian deathworm inspired the giant sandworms in the movie Dunes from 1965, which you just said you finished watching.
Yes,
So
yes.
horrifying. I've never seen the movie, but I've seen the movie posters, and they scary. No thanks.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon fought some too.
In that one movie, what was that movie called?
Tremors.
Yes. Yes. I love that cryptid. I think it sounds fun.
It does sound
dangerous
fun.
and elusive.
Yeah. And it's like,
So-
if you were to dig deep in the ground, would you find like Mongolian deathworm skeletons, kind of like dinosaur skeletons? That would be freaky.
Right.
The next
So if
fossil
it
fuel.
doesn't exist, what do you think the purpose of making it up would be? You know what I mean?
Well, like urban legends are usually passed down to scare people and keep them safe. So maybe for locals in that area, it was a way to keep people from venturing out too deep into the desert on their own. That would be my thought. It's like, oh, if you go too far, a Mongolian deathworm might pop out of the ground and shoot poisonous venom at you or electric discharge. You don't want that. So, I don't. That's my guess.
All right, yeah. I feel like the desert itself would be
hundreds of
like
books about it. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. If
No
you go to
shit.
Wikipedia for the Mongolian deathworm and you scroll down, there's like 5 or 6 books cited in there. And then if you click on any of them and pull up the PDFs, it references other books I'm like, is this
Wow.
just like the telephone game of mystery and horror, or are these people
Damn.
actually going out and expediting, which it sounds like they did in some cases, but
Yeah. They put a lot of
Yeah.
research and time into that.
Yeah,
I really hope
exactly.
it's true for them.
I hope something
Yeah.
comes up someday. But yeah.
Well, I would never want to encounter it if it comes up someday. So
I wouldn't
I
either, but
prefer-
maybe it's like
No.
the cure for cancer or something, and we actually really need to go find this thing. You know, but
yeah,
there's just so much we don't
That
know.
missing link, yeah.
Yes.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, what's
Yeah.
scary too is like locals talking about it. It's like, was there a translation error and it's not actually a giant worm? Or do these people see it because they live there regularly too? And visitors
Good point.
coming,
Good
you
point.
know, don't
Right.
get
I'm
to
so
capture
glad
it.
you actually brought that up because there was this one episode that we did a while back, and we referenced John Keel of the Mothman Mysteries and how he thinks that all cryptids are like a group think phenomenon where one person sees it in a region and then it just explodes in that region.
Like mass
Basically,
hysteria kind of shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
but also on another like metaphysical plane where if you can consciously say, I saw
Yeah.
this, you transfer it to people in that region and then it manifests. It will physically manifest from, you know, in John Keel's belief, from a different realm.
Yeah.
The power of manifestation is no joke. And if you
No
guys
joke.
ever get the chance to listen to it or talk to him himself, the writer of the Mothman Prophecies, or sorry, the
Yeah, John
producer
Keel.
of the
John Keel.
show.
Yeah.
No, there's another guy. His name is Richard Hatim. We interviewed him
Okay.
on our show. He did like
Oh, okay.
the TV show, I think, on it. If I remember correctly, this was like
Yeah.
3 years ago now, and my memory is not that great. But he said the same thing, like the power of manifestation, and like basically the telephone game of like this person saw this and this person saw this, and it literally like people trick themselves into thinking that they see it in the corner of their eye, kind of like when you watch a scary movie and you think you see shadow people like in the corner of your eye all of a sudden. So
Yes.
he was
Yeah,
he
like,
was
we're
a pretty
so
cool
suggestible.
interview. Yeah.
Sounds like a
spooky.
cool interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so what would you say the likelihood of this fucking thing being a real thing? Like what
I mean,
what are your thoughts on
dinosaurs existed, so maybe it's
Did they,
possible that it
though?
just doesn't exist anymore. Okay, that's a conspiracy in and of
I
itself.
think that's exactly what I'm gonna say. Like I think dinosaurs are a conspiracy. I'm not 100% sure they exist.
I hope they did. I would love to live with the dinosaurs.
Well, the
take
only
me
reason
back.
why I say that is because of like the majority of them have these like little fucking arms, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Same.
what did they just
What's your
they
point?
just
Have little
dangle there?
arms?
What was the point of them? You know what I mean? So what I kind of was thinking was maybe it was cartilage that started for the like the bone
For the wings.
and then for the wings. Like what if these
Yeah.
are just big ass birds? Dragons possibly. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know
I don't know.
either.
I
but
really
I
want to
would-
believe dragons exist or existed
Yeah.
at one point, but
Fire
also
breathing
kind of
ones?
terrifying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
for sure.
mean-
And,
Or like
the-
pterodactyls.
Oh, those are terrifying
Yeah.
too.
yeah, those are very terrifying. Yeah. And the fact that they generated what they look like and what they sound like without ever having encountered one of these things alive.
Which is
So-
crazy to me that somebody can study DNA and a skeleton and put that together. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever
That's why I
heard
was
of
like-
a harpy eagle? That's my new fear unlocked, and that's real. Google
I
a
have
harpy
not.
eagle. It
No.
looks like a grim reaper in the sky.
Oh,
That's
the big
terrifying.
black thing.
Horrible.
They're terrifying.
That
I've
is
never
really
heard of them.
terrifying.
When
Well-
we recorded with Passages, that was one of Robbie's theories about the kid that just disappeared. Like his footsteps
Yeah.
stopped in the snow, and he's like harpy eagle. I'm like, what? He's like, he got swooped up by a harpy eagle, and I believe
Wow.
it. They're very scary.
That is really terrifying. But going back
So
to
well-
like, I
they
guess,
evolved from something.
Mm,
yeah.
True.
Yeah, and going
True.
back to pterodactyls, like people still report those in Central and South America, like sightings of
Yep.
them.
Yep.
So maybe it's just a harpy
And-
eagle.
Maybe.
Or
And
it's a
dragons.
fox
There's
bat.
a guy that says he sees them over
Yeah.
Stanley Park. He has like a whole website dedicated to his studies and like possible
Dragons over
sightings.
Stanley Park?
Yes.
What?
I was like, "Are you okay, sir?" Stanley Park's no, wait, which one's the one in New York? I'm terrible with geography. Central
Central?
Park. Sorry, Stanley
Central?
Park is here.
Stanley
I'm
Park's in
getting myself
Vancouver.
mixed up. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, I would be out conducting searches if it was in
I was
Stanley
gonna say,
Park.
I was like, I could be up there this afternoon.
Wait, where do you live?
Just down in Washington State.
Oh, you
South of
are
the
super
border,
close
baby.
to me. Yeah. Okay, we definitely got to hang out. I felt
Yeah.
bad. I was gonna try and connect with Frankie from the Haunted and the Strange podcast today, but she was literally here for like 2 hours and 45 minutes away. So I would have driven for 45 minutes to hang out with her for half an hour.
For
to
like
come
10
back.
minutes.
Yeah. You're like, sorry, I got a date with Kevin.
I love you, girl, but I gotta go and record. Yeah. So, but that's
We're about
okay.
to get
We will.
weird.
We will meet up
Yeah.
for sure.
You should.
We'll go and
Amanda.
investigate some dragons,
Ooh.
Yeah.
that'd be great.
pterodactyls, harpy
I love her.
eagles.
She's an amazing person.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.
Because in the end, none of us have very long on this earth. Life is fleeting. And if you're ever distressed, cast your eyes to the summer sky. When the stars are strung across the velvety night, and when a shooting star streaks through the blackness, turning night into day, make a wish.